What's going on, guys? So, when I was 12 to 13 years old, I remember being with my granddad, and I realized that was the first time I realized that my granddad was quite of a power hungry, status chasing kind of person. So, he would always be, telling me stories about his sons, so my uncles, about, what they've achieved. Never of anything, of how they were as a person, but more of what they'd achieve and what the status was or what their title was, or that they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were engineers or whatever. But there was never any talk of morals or what that person believes in, what is that person chasing betterment for the world. It was literally just very one dimensional and very status power focused. This obviously, you can imagine, as a 12, 13-year-old, boy, made me very status orientated as well. And from that day forward, I think that's when he, started telling me more about status and power. I became very status orientated, and then my whole life just revolved around, chasing money, chasing status, chasing power, chasing kind of like a hierarchy in life of being more. For a long time now, obviously, I've been chasing, status and always trying to get better than people in any kind of situation. Now, this is more of a mental thing where mentally I crave this. Up until now, obviously, at the age of 27, which is what I am right now, I've realized that I've completely started to not chase status anymore because it's a losing game. I remember being, 18, 19, and anything I would do with the friends, if we went out, it would be more of who can I speak to, which girl can I go speak to, instead of actually enjoying the night. If we would go play, let's say, pool at the bar, I need to beat everyone instead of let's have a good time. So it was always this kind of situation, these kind of environments where a little bit of competition arised. It just became a very toxic environment for me because I have been, running this program in my mind that my granddad and my family kind of pushed onto me, that I need to just, chase success and status and being better than other people. Obviously, in reality, it's more about value creation. Betterment does not come from titles or from your resources or from, what you have. It's more about who you are as a person, what you can deliver as a person, what value do you create to human beings around the world. So eventually, obviously, at this age now, throughout my early 20s, it just made me realize that I've been chasing I've been in a race that has literally been leading nowhere. And even though there have been successes within my life and I've achieved certain things, it never feels enough. There's always the sensation of wanting more, and I've just come to a point where I've kind of burnt out, in the sense that I realized that what it was that I was always chasing and wanting was never status. And it's the same with you. You're probably obviously on YouTube trying to find the content to kind of like make you feel better than other people, but it's never that. The actual thing that you've always been chasing and wanting ain't status or power, it's freedom. It's all that humans have ever wanted. It's just freedom. Now, if you compare back to our ancestors a long time ago, they would have been fighting a different battle. Let's say, for example, to get freedom. For us, it's a bit of a different thing. We are trying to find freedom through financial success, and the main thing to get this is through stability. When we obviously see these these videos online of these people with Lamborghinis, big mansions, and the one that really pops into my mind is Charlie Morgan, this YouTuber who kind of shows his mansions and always says that he's earning, 10 million a month. And I'll be honest with you, it's all bullshit. Because, yes, they're definitely making money, okay? However, people online love to exaggerate due to the fact that they want you to eventually buy something from them. It's the truth. It's always been the case, and it's never going to go anywhere. These kind of pyramid schemes have always been in place, or like I don't really want to say Ponzi schemers. The only thing is, a lot of YouTubers do provide real value, and that's actually fact. However, a lot of what's out there is fake. Now, my point is, obviously, with regards to everything that these people show you online, it's a very hyperinflated kind of lifestyle they're showing you, and it ain't the truth of how people actually live. Even the wealthy ain't living like that. If you look at a real wealthy person, you look at someone like, a Steve Jobs in the past, or like an Elon Musk. Yes, they're busy, they're doing stuff, they're more active, they may be more active than you. However, they are not living how you imagine, where they're driving Lamborghinis and they've got, girls everywhere, and they've got this and they've got that. It's a lot more simple. So my point, obviously, going back to the freedom thing, if you have stability and freedom, and you have this kind of base underneath yourself where you know that if you take any upside risk or any business venture risk, even if that fails, you can come back to that kind of stability and that secure base that you've built through your hard work and grit, then you are essentially free. Now, that doesn't need to be much, as long as you ain't spending much. If you can live a minimal lifestyle and you're quite content with doing that, that's the best way. Let's say, for example, if you are earning £2,000, if you can automate £2,000 somehow, let's say by property. If you buy a property and you put tenants in that property that are bringing you £2,000 a month after tax, obviously, and let's say you've got 3 to 5 properties doing that, boom, now you've got that security base. Now you're essentially free now. For some people it might be 2,000, for some people it might be 1,000, for some people it might be 5,000, some people it might be 10,000. It just depends on how your lifestyle is. A lot of people can survive on £2,000. It might not be like a sexy lifestyle, however, it's stable and it's safe and it gives them freedom. Again, like I said, that's the main thing you want. Once you have stability and freedom, you can build on from that and not give a single fuck about anything else. As long as you're content with that kind of lifestyle you're living and you've built that stable base and security, then from there on it's just straight growth, up and up and up. Regardless of if you fail, it's straight growth, up and up and up. Because you're free, you can do whatever you want, you can go out, you can go enjoy, you can live a happy life. But the main thing is, as you're obviously building and taking these asymmetric risks, always have that base that keeps getting stronger as well, because that security is what's going to fuel you and keep you safe as you get older. They won't tell you this. They'll tell you to start trading, they'll tell you to buy their courses, and they'll tell you to make content online. And I'm telling you, the content online, it's these are good risks to take. However, they won't get you to that kind of goal that you're looking to get to very quickly. So I thought just make this little video as I was driving. I thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.